candidate who also is among the governorship race. Now, but the three top or so, four top that are going for this prestigious position at the Sadega Avenue. Now, the process is so far from INEC down to the electorate. How will you rate the processes so far from other elections that are happening?
Okay, thank you, Chris. I think that's a very smart question to ask. First of all, I want to declare ab initio that I have taken side on this journey.
Okay, you've taken side on this journey?
Yes, so I'm just taking that side. Okay. I want to declare that so that nobody who sees my analysis and then say, oh, don't mind me, it
won't be biased.
I will try to make it as objective as possible.
Okay.
And of course, viewers are allowed to make value judgment on their own. Besides, remember when we are going to vote, Austin is not going to be around to carry your thumb.
No.
And vote for any
party. One man, one vote.
And it's secret ballot. Therefore, what I'm going to say, you can evaluate it on its merits, you can throw it away, or you can use it. Now, this is my analysis. Just like you rightly pointed out, we have about 17, 18. But I hear now that 5 have declared support for one of the candidates.
Okay.
But if somebody who doesn't have borehole suddenly announces that he is going to support you with water, I think you should be suspicious.
How would I get water? Maybe I have water.
So
maybe I'll be water board somewhere.
The way I will talk about those 5,
yeah.
They are Edo State people. They are competent to canvass for votes. And if they ask you to name those parties, you don't even remember the names. Or do you know them?
Yeah, true to talk. True.
So if they were not known, this is with due respect to them. And suddenly, just like during the primaries, there were some people that only managed to print posters. But they were the first to go and say, I am declaring support for this man and I am stepping down my ambition. Which ambition did you have before? Because you printed about 5 posters. Do you understand me? So these political parties, the number is now being reduced, but it has been reduced by 5 because 5 have said they are now throwing their weight
officially.
Yeah, they are throwing their weight behind one candidate. But how do you throw weightlessness as a weight?
You never can tell. One vote, it matters a lot in politics.
Yes.
So when you say weightlessness, I want to agree totally with that.
Now, how do you compare one?
Because they have parents, they have brothers,
yes,
and they have sisters,
yes.
And those people, they can, okay, I have 10 votes. Let me, okay, let's for instance that Mr. Isikhuemen and Kris of EBSTV, we are running for election.
Yes.
And your vote is 90, and my vote is maybe 87.
Yeah.
And the weightlessness of somebody will not say, okay, Kris, I have 5 votes, I want to give you the votes.
Okay.
Let
me put it this way.
Okay.
I can get that same 10 votes by sitting down in a barber shop and talking to people that come there to barb their hair. And we just discuss. I show them the manifesto. I discuss with them where my party is going. And I will get 15 people who gets convinced. Rather than somebody who knows he's not going to get a vote or is going to get 5 votes coming to say, I'm stepping down for Mr. Johnson. I'm making it look like Johnson is going to win because of him. You know there's a lot of scam in this country. So let's leave that matter and come back to.
Okay, let's come back to
the 3 prime runners today as we speak. I don't think that is debatable. They are Labour Party, PDP, People's Democratic Party, and APC, the All Progressive Congress. Those are the 3 parties that are the front runners in this race. And those are the ones that people will be looking at their performance when results are being collated and announced. Now let's look at the 3. I will start in no particular order. Let me start with Labour, because I voted for Labour in the last election, so that should be understandable. Labour has one of our finest lawyers, a son of Benin Kingdom. I won't say a son of the palace. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
He's a son of the soil.
Yeah, sure.
As our revered Royal Majesty has told us. He led the NBA in a very activist mode, and he has made a lot of progress. Is in the law sector. He's the candidate of Labour Party right now, and he, as Labour naturally, you would believe that the obedience will support Labour, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Because that was what happened in the last election.
A tsunami.
Well, I will tell you why that is not the case. He is doing well. If you look at some of the analysis being done, some of the what some of the processes are throwing up. Oludi, that's what it's called. He dances very well. But I think in this election, he is in the wrong place.
At the right time?
Not even the right time. The reason is the current incumbent is from beneath.
So it has a
Edo
shift.
South.
It has a shift now.
Yes. So I don't think our democracy has ripened to the stage where one brother will take over from his brother.
So that means the issue of shifting from the central district now is in play.
Good. And that is what the obedience called justice, equity and fairness, JEF.
Fair play.
Yes, because that was part of what the appeal to Obi's candidacy was about. A lot of Nigerians felt the East hasn't had a chance for a long time. Let's give the East a chance. But that wasn't the overriding factor.
But is this in the Constitution?
I will get there. But let me just finish this and I'll tell you why, whether in the Constitution or not, it matters.
All right.
So, but it wasn't just that Obi was from the East. He wasn't the only one from the East. There were other people in other parties. Remember there was Abga, which we even consider an Eastern party, Southeast based. Obi happens to have the qualities that any right-thinking youth, any educated person will know without an iota of doubt that this guy, he fits the kind of candidate we need for the future of this country. And it is a pity that INEC and the courts have said, and we obey the courts, that he didn't win the election. So that's it. But the massive appeal was based on equity, justice and fairness, and also on the fact that he had the capacity, the competence and commitment to the general good of the people. Now you then come to Edo. I know that on Arise TV, our brother Akpata was asked, what about this obedience they say are rooting for the PDP candidate instead of you? And he said, oh, don't mind them, I don't know them. Truly, he doesn't know us, because when we were in the trenches for Obi, he was nowhere to be found.
When we were in the trenches?
Yes.
Okay.
Therefore, he cannot harvest where he did not plant. And that is why majority of the obedience, I won't lie to you and say all obedience. That would be exaggeration. The majority of the obedience are with Aswe Ighodalo. I will get there. That's number one. So therefore, in my considered view, Olu cannot win the election. Because,
in your view?
Because Edo people are not ready to have an Akpata replace an Obaseki.
Okay.
That's the truth. Not only that, the candidate in the PDP is by far head and shoulders above Olu Akpata. That's number one, settled. Then I go to...
Now how will you rank that? That's your judgment, head and shoulders.
It's my judgment.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing it on anybody.
Okay.
Everybody can make his judgment.
Okay.
But that's mine.
Okay, so let's go on.
2. Let me go to APC candidate. It's my brother. I say brother because I'm from Central, Edo Central. And it's based on the minimal qualification that our National Assembly has and the constitution framers put in the constitution, he's qualified. Once you have attempted school certificate, they didn't say if you pass. Once you have read up to, that's what they said. They didn't say if you pass.
That means my daughter can contest for the Senate.
Yes, even presidency. So he's quite qualified, and he benefited from the third term attempt by Senator Odia. Because if you remember during this time, the PDP has said you go twice, you stop, so that other sections of your constituency can go.
Yeah.
Therefore, Moses is distinguished, as they are called, Senator of the Federal Republic today, representing Edo Central. But even though he represents Edo Central, he should be looking at the interest of Edo State in Abuja. Has he done so? I don't have evidence. Has he been vibrant there? I still remember people like Sergius Ogun of PDP, when he was in the House of Reps. No week passed without several television stations seeking his views on critical national issues.
Now, is it
and okay. I would like to add, we know what he did as a member of the House of Reps. Odia himself, we know what he did as a member of the Senate.
He's talking to the press. Is it part of the gains of being part of your...
Yes, I will tell you yes, and I will justify it. Politics is about people, and the way people communicate is by talking to each other.
How about if I have bigger actions to show?
Now,
just like my governor.
Let me tell you why you cannot have big actions if you are deaf mute. The reason is you are going to be making presentations to influence whatever it is you want to get for your constituency. You're going to talk to people, and when you're going to talk to somebody, you go there with what is called a justification, reason why what you are asking for has to be done. What is the benefit for your constituency? What is the benefit to the nation at large? And you lay them out. You lay out that argument, cost benefit analysis. This is how much we are going to spend, and this is how much is going to be the benefit to the people. It is those kind of arguments you use to justify and therefore get an approval. So if you are not able to talk reasonably, we are not saying you have to be an orator. If you go to somebody and tell him, please, I'm looking for animals to buy and put in the museum, I'm not too sure you get a positive response.
That's right.
Therefore, those who tell you,
animals are not kept.
Those who tell you don't have to be an orator to be an effective leader, they have a point. But oratory is different from ability to string sentences together. You should at least be able to come across, articulate your position. Yeah. If somebody comes to you and says, your mineral resources, do you want them? What has he said? Is he going to carry the mineral resources, put in a pickup and bring to your house?
Yeah, maybe something like that. There was once a governor.
I would expect.
There was the governor who said we have Coke, Fanta, you remember?
Yes, but how did he perform the candles? He was the same one when there was a military coup, which I don't support.
Yeah.
Those who went to arrest him reported that they found 3 million in his house, and the money belonged to the government. Do you know what his foolish response was? He said, no, the money was found, is government money in government house. So why is that a problem? That was his answer, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
And he was also the one that said, no, it wasn't 3 million, it was 4 million. Those people have stolen 1 million from it.
Okay, let's go back to that. Time is not our friend.
Okay, therefore, I would say Brother Pemolo is running a very good race. He's campaigning, he's going around. What I don't know is whether he thinks there's a masquerade in Arise TV. They'll be calling him, he's not going, but surrogates are going. Unfortunately and sadly, those who have gone there to speak for him have worsened his case. I will give an example. Agbonaima was a House of Reps member. He went there. You were ashamed to be a Bendelite or an Edolite, watching him and puerile arguments. Questions were being asked. You said, oh, Yeah, don't mind Obaseki. He did not perform. Then in the same way, you now say Obaseki, the performance is because he has a huge increase in IGR. And then they ask him, but is that not an achievement?
Yeah.
He said no. So I mean, it was all over the place. Now, Kazim Afegwa went. Surprisingly, Kazim was almost fighting with Ifalui. You see, but they have to appeal. Look, this has to be a civilized conversation, because it got to a point where he couldn't say anything reasonable. Then Tenebe went. Then you wonder why somebody will choose somebody like Tenebe to be party chairman. Look at what he said. He said that Edo people don't have money. Basically, are made them poor. That they can't even buy. They don't have a DSTV. They can't subscribe to GoTV. And those who have, they can't pay subscription.
There was a reply from the interviewer, the journalist there.
Yes.
I said, are you sure what you're saying?
And he told me right there that in terms of internet subscription, because their programs are available on the internet, that Edo State has 3.9 million subscribers. And he was saying, no, some don't have phone, some don't have TV. The man was going to Lagos to disgrace us. So, are they helping the cause of the candidate, my brother Monday? Or then Oshomole, of course. What happened was, and I was there, the governor's wife said she was with Ashley's wife on the platform and was saying that there is benefit in a governor having a wife who will champion the cause of women and girl children. And she knew what he was saying, because if you recall, in this state today, it was her pet project that led to massive arrest and clamp down on people who abuse children and women.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely.
If you rape a child today and she hears, or her agency hears, you are picked up, you go to jail, and the process of trial is fast tracked. And because of that, those kind of crimes are reducing. Therefore, she has been supporting women in several ways. So what she was saying was that if you had a lady, the first lady in the house, she is going to be of help in addressing the conditions of women and children. Who can quarrel with that? And then she said, of all the candidates, notice the word, of all the candidates, only Ashley has a wife. I mean, politically speaking, you can generalize like that. Nowhere did she say that Monday Okpebolo does not have a wife. So, if it is true that Olu doesn't have, I don't know whether he has or doesn't have, I'm not saying he doesn't have, but if it is true he also doesn't have, has he responded? No, because he wasn't called by name. Monday wasn't called by name. Maybe that's why Monday too have not responded. So why did a former governor put that issue on his head? Perhaps maybe he too doesn't have a wife. I don't know. So setting the state on verbal fire because of a general statement is suspicious. It means you had had this in mind to say before, and this was the opportunity to say it.
But
because what he said was, of all the candidates,
okay,
go and watch the video.
Now,
she did never mention somebody by name.
Now,
not to talk of somebody who is not even running, except of course if Monday is a placeholder for the former governor of Shomole.
Now, Mr. Austin, before I let you go, because time's not our friend now. Now, I wish supposed to be discussing this on political ground. Is this the essence of politics, or coming to state your manifestos on what you'll be able to do for the people when elected?
Okay.
Or should we take it to the next level that's going to become war of words and getting at each other?
I think it is a section of the polity in Edo State that is doing that. They did it in 2020. You will also hear some mention, every statement they made, they want to say about they are trying to drag the palace into their politics. And the Oba is wiser than that. He's a very wise man. He doesn't take all those kind of shenanigans seriously. Because talk about the issue
The issue based, that's what I'm saying.
Talk about the issue.
Yeah.
And who of the three candidates have been talking most on issues? Who has never abused anyone? Who has not had to have a shouting match against anybody? And who, when called upon by any group of people, no matter where located, here or abroad, he answers the call. Arise TV asked about him when somebody else came to speak, and the next day we saw him on TV, and he asked and he told Rufai, I hear say you dey look for me, see me, I don't come.
Okay.
So yes, there are examples of those who are focused on the issues, and the number one man that is focused on the issues is Isikhuemen. You can't take his manifestos are available online, his hard copies are available, and what he tends to do in every sector is clear. And that's the campaign he's doing. That's what he's telling everybody. He has not gone there to tell you one guy is useless, one guy is this, one guy is that. No, he's telling you, if you elect me, this is what I will do about employment, about social services, about infrastructure, and so on. Therefore, that's why I rate him as number one, and I do people know.
All right, let's leave it there. Time actually isn't our friend. It has been a very purposeful and insightful discussion. But Mr. Austin, in all this, how do you find time to relax?
I relax by being in two groups. Okay. One is obedience for AI.
And second?
And the second is called the New Phase of Edo. Okay. When we did a symposium, 15th of June, if you came there, you would enjoy and you will relax because you are being told how Edo will get better by Isikhuemen.
Okay.
Then, on the 8th of this month, which is Sunday, there is a place called SIO Event Center, close to Benin Recreation Club. We are doing that. The New Face of Edo is doing what is called Good Governance Town Hall. Okay, and when you come there, you see what we are talking about, because that group called the New Face of Edo, of which I am director of publicity, we are talking about how to get good governance, put the right people in the right places, so that the state can benefit. If somebody comes to you at night and gives you 10,000 to go and vote for me, the next day you buy some akpu, some tomatoes and okra, the 10,000 is finished. But if that person comes up with ideas about how schools can be better for your children, and tars a road, and then brings about a situation where industries can thrive and provide employment for your people, that is the guy.
All right, time
you need to vote for. And that's Isikhuemen.
All right, thank you so much. I will hold you to that. We'll see some see about that. Well, thank you so much. It has been so wonderful talking with Mr. Austin Isikhuemen. Thank you so much for being on the show. We hope to see you next time when we'll call in the show on a short notice. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. My last word would be, voters should open their eyes. Don't let anybody deceive you. If what I have said about Isikhuemen is wrong, prove me wrong. On that day, you will vote by yourself. But remember, you are voting for your future. And people of our age who are already above 50, above 60, some of them need to remember that this may be, because whoever you elect now may well likely do 8 years. If you add 8 years to 60, you're already 68. If you're already 70, of course, this may be. So let's make sure the right person is voted for, and that's where we go.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Clinton, thank you so much. Please don't mind me. Please, thank you. All right, we'll see you again next week on the show. Until then, stay safe and stay out of trouble. My name is Kris of EBSTV. Peace. We out.
That's right. Okay.